So when I play at this stage, I don't even think about sound imagination much. It's already there somehow, in the tips of my fingers, in the palm sensations, in my body sensation, so I can really kind of put it aside and really focus on this main part of mental practice and mental preparation. Why do we need self-confidence? What are the benefits of self-confidence when I'm playing?
We all musicians, especially academically trained pianists, we have that sensation of, hot cheek and cold hands. I frequently saw people doing something like this.
This fear energetically associated with ice, with something being frozen.
Freeze.
With a freeze. And that freeze of mind affects the frozen sensation in our body and hands. So that's why we need to wear those. Pianists do wear gloves before playing, and some pianists try to use some medicine or maybe even alcohol, some drugs to relax their mind, because everything is just got so stiff and so frozen, really. So what kind of energy it is? Why is it helpful with our frozen state?
I guess because ice and fire goes over the ice, so it must be something hot.
Self-confidence energy is energy of fire. So, what are the elements? Fast, first of all. Because also, as we know, when our mind and body frozen, everything gets just slower. It's like your mind is strapped, you can't really think, and your muscles also get slow and frozen. So, first of all, it's fast energy.
But fast energy is when you not constrained, you reactive. You can, and your brain works with lightning speed, very fast.
Exactly.
Like, very fast.
Yeah.
And so maybe another example of this fast energy is the speed of lightning, speed of thought, very fast.
Later we're gonna make these exercises which involve body movement, and through the fast body movement it will also hopefully will help you to feel that energy faster. Which now we need to talk about direction. So we talk about the speed and texture. Now direction of this energy, again, when you're frozen, you become more introvert. It's like energy goes in. So we need the energy which is outgoing.
Yeah.
Fast and outgoing. Okay. And the last is the distance. Again, when you're frozen, you probably, if someone asks you to speak, you will speak very softly because you are intimidated. You will be like, yeah, thank you. Yeah, ni puha ni pera. Yeah, thank you, You're not gonna be like, yeah, thank you, yeah, So it's frozen energy, it's inwards energy, and it's not far going. Let's put it this way, we're closed up. So the third element would be far going. And I don't know.
As far as it can be.
Exactly, and I don't know if you were told, but was told many times, play as, at the last row of the big hall, everyone can hear you. So, to sum up, it's a fiery energy, which is, self-confidence energy is a fiery energy, which is fast, outgoing, and far-going. And I also suggest students who have still problems to grasp that energy is to remember when they are angry. So anger has that fast energy and far going and outwards energy actually. But I suggest to take away the pain and bitterness of that. But just kind of focus on that, a fast reaction. There is no slow reaction and anger. First, we're going to add self-confidence and posture. And then when you're comfortable there, then we're going to wrap it up with true voice. And when you wrap it up with true voice, then self-confidence is going to be there, but it's not going to be everything that you focus on. You know this probably saying, what you focus on will expand. So it's kind of like your self-confidence is there, but because you focus on it a little bit less, it will be contained. It's not going to be like this.
The image that came into my mind, it's like we inflating the self-confidence, and then going through voice, and this singularity goes.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's with everything. You probably already experienced that. When you were focusing on musical image and form, it was expanded, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you said wrap it up with the timing, then it becomes smaller in your mind. And that also means you focus on those faster, because it's smaller. Yes. And eventually when we're gonna look at everything and go through our mind, and like I said, it shouldn't take more than 5 seconds at the end of the day. With a true voice, you focus on self-confidence and you feel elements of form, through timing, and musical image. And all of this, again, it's just like with the speed of light, done. And that's what we need to train. And if you are, just starting, it will take you so much time just to focus on musical image, and then choosing the right timing, and then remembering the part of the story. Oh, there is also self-confidence. Wait, there is also posture. And at the end of the day, how do I also add a true voice to all of this? So this is the biggest part of our practice now. I'm going to be the very last finishing line. Integrating self-confidence into constant singing, internal singing while we're playing. We make sure that every step, every interval we play, we express self-confidence. So self-confidence is going to be sustained during our playing. And that's a very big shift from, okay, I'm ready, I go on stage, and I start playing, and then, oh, it's a bit different now,
You create something like a bubble around you that protects from distractions. You're like in this shield. You have this shield of energy.
Exactly. Again, because you're playing with the outgoing energy, so you actually create, I like what you said, it's almost like a sphere around you, and through which you're actually speaking up, instead of just only listening to audience and being silent. In this case, it's a failure. We need both ways. I'm not saying you just need to constantly speak, but there always a good, successful performance is like a good conversation, where you listen, you speak, but you also feel the feedback of the audience, and that while listening the feedback from the audience, that inspires you to co-create. And so you co-create together with audience. It's important that you start with your output, with the speaking and saying your message, and then you start getting the input, the listening from the audience, and then you both continue, and it's a beautiful cycle. If you don't start speaking up, if you go on stage and imagine that you're not performing, imagine that you are there to say something. If we could make some kind of metaphor here, analogy with playing, if you don't have self-confidence, you go on stage and you look, hi, This is me. I'm going to place. What? We can't hear you. Give her the microphone. What's wrong with her? So that's what's happening, basically when we play. They need to hear our message. All right, so expressing and sustaining self-confidence on stage through intonation helps us to create a shield that would initially protect us from the thoughts and doubts and maybe judgment, or it's not necessarily thoughts of audience. It could be like actually not focusing on you as well as a big distraction. What else?
Maybe I should probably say it at the beginning, but the self-confidence helps to make everything a little bit bigger. It is like difference between your speech in everyday life and your speech on the stage speech. So it's a little bit bigger, maybe not a little.
And it is important because if you are going to a theater, none of the actors going on the stage without makeup. You have to amplify everything for the audience to grab the expression on the face. So that's what also self-confidence does, like a magnifying glass, make everything much more expressive. It allows you to start actually speaking first, and by doing this you actually start taming your audience. And also a new instrument. I found that a lot of stage fright comes from playing on an instrument that does not answer to me, and that creates, you try to control it with compulsive tension, and that doesn't help. Again, imagine that your instrument is like a wild horse or a bull, that you need to tame, and you're not going to tame it by trying to adjust to the horse. No, you have to have your will. This is what I want. And somehow then instrument adjusts to you. And it doesn't take more than a few minutes. And then you hold it in your hands rather than you smashed by it. That's how usually it feels. So you not only tame the audience, you also tame your instrument. And somehow also the whole venue, the whole hall, the whole space around you. It's very important. Let's go to some exercises that will help us to develop this energy. There are two, right? So the very first one is actually just to focus on speaking of that phrase. Listen to me. It has to have this fast, outgoing, far-going energy, and it has to be pronounced in declamatory way. And the second exercise is to add a body movement to it and start speeding up. So let's try the first one first. If you could think about a Soviet Union poets and how they were speaking, I don't know, Mayakovsky, imagine Mayakovsky, right? They were really speaking in that declamatory way. And it has this, that ta-da rhythm. I found it very helpful.
In school I recite Mayakovsky on stage.
I still remember.
I had some experience.
Why you're reciting it with self-confidence?
I were very confident. It was 4th grade.
Okay.
Okay. Listen to me.
Oh wow, that was really good.
Listen to me. How do you like it?
Yeah, I can even see Vladimir Lenin in it.
Words like «Я знаю, город будет. Я знаю, саду цвесть». Потому что в стране советской такие люди есть. Да, я, наверное, напутал все, но в общем... Короче говоря, I had an experience. Okay, so yeah.
Punch like this, and it is important how you come back. Ta-dum, 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 ta-dum. And so now, good, and now add to that, listen, listen to me. And now this gives really nice sensation of far going actually, and outwards energy.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen
All right.
to me.
Now imagine that you're on the stage of Большой зал, big great hall, and to the very top, right there, the last row.
Listen to me.
Aha!
Listen to me.
You see? For me, there's a difference.
Second time was a little worse.
Yeah, but the first time was really good, and your voice opened up as well.
Yeah.
Let's try a few times more.
Listen to me.
Good,
Listen to me.
good. Well done. But I was also thinking about acceleration as actually maybe I have a more accurate description of than fast. Because fast is kind of like, listen to me, you know. But here you go kind of like maybe a little bit slow, but at the end you really accelerate. Listen to me, you know. Exactly. Yeah, I think it's more accurate. So now we're going to accelerate, exactly. So let's say now is the third step. So you go, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. And faster.
I hope I won't break it. Listen to me. 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 Listen to me.
Okay, very good.
Okay. You have the materials for the video.
Super. If this video is not gonna get 10 likes, I don't know what else will. How to sing. So let's talk about, so I suggest this. First we're gonna kind of make, we mention some essential rules about singing and playing, and then we'll actually gonna talk about singing and playing.
For me, the very important thing is to keep singing slow, but being able to feel that fast energy between the notes.
So to find this balance between singing slowly with intonation and at the same time have a far projected energy and fast. So when you sing with self-confidence, it's important that you don't start just singing very fast. When you're gonna sing with self-confidence only, you will notice how arrogant it's gonna sound. Because, I mean, it's gonna sound exactly what you just, performed for us. And so that's why, again, we need to integrate it in the system and connect it to image and form, and later to be under the umbrella of voice, true voice. So it would be just like a pinch of salt in the soup, not just salt itself. So when you sing with self-confidence and you feel, oh my god, this is a bit too much, it's okay. It's absolutely fine. That's how it's supposed to be at that step of singing. All right. What is important about playing with self-confidence?
Posture. Posture is important. You need to connect this energy with posture.
Why? Actually, it's for a very practical reason. It's because, remember, we were introducing posture, connecting it to intonation in the first book. That's it. It's just because, you want to start playing with the correct posture as soon as possible. But you see, after adding so many layers of book 2, of book 3, what might happen is that focusing on bigger picture, while focusing on bigger picture, you will forget about posture. And you will not even notice you wouldn't be, the awareness of posture will not be even in the picture. Because posture is something unlike, sound imagination and hand motion, and maybe even phrasing, that doesn't really go to muscle memory, because any emotion, any feedback from the audience, because you will constantly get those waves of energy while playing, and your natural response would be kind of dance together with it. But actually that will prevent you from expressing yourself directly through the sound, directly through the movements, and will be actually standing in the way of your technique as well. So, adding posture to self-confidence, it's just to remind yourself and just making sure it does not fade away after adding so many layers.
I wanted to say about the stiffness, the sensation of stiffness that may occur, and that you don't want to fear of it, because this is a consequence of that self-confident energy.
Exactly. So again, it's because the energy that we create is more static, rigid in a way. It's not female energy, it's more male energy. And so we want to, it will naturally affect the sensations in our muscles. So it will bring some amount of stiffness, but that's okay, because we're going to, again, it's gonna be just a little part. It's not gonna go into unhealthy, dysfunctional tension in our hands, because everything is under control. So, but yes, you might experience just natural feeling of stiffness when you play with self-confidence.
So we were talking about order, importance of order. And as well as with timing practice, we need to maintain the correct order to teach ourselves quickly prepare. That's how I understand it. Because if we have that order in mind, we know this should be like this always, and it gives us an ability to speeding up, and do quick preparation.
Speed up
So
our attention.
Speed up, yeah. So the order is musical image, then musical form, then timing, then self-confidence.
And posture, because we're connecting it together with that.
So self-confidence and posture is like one unit.
Block.
Yeah.
And why do we make it that way? Why do we not start, let's say, with self-confidence? If you try to start with self-confidence first, self-confidence and posture, okay, and then you, in your mind, so you tune your mind into this energy. Got it. Next you go into, okay, let's think about musical image of the piece. Oh, it's a nice spring, beautiful, music. And then, it's the beginning of the story. Okay, it's an animated timing. If you go that way, by the time you finish your preparation, the energy of self-confidence is out of the window. You're losing it. Where if you just go in your mind into the image of music, the form, the timing, and then at the end you add self-confidence, somehow you will play with self-confidence, but just because in your mind you previously went through all those colors and textures, they will be included in the self-confidence. So the self-confidence is not, black anymore. It actually has rainbows of musical image, musical form, and timing in it. So the reason to go image form, timing, self-confidence, and posture is to sustain self-confidence when you start playing. and not losing it. Mhm. It will be a bit different when we go a little bit further and reach the true voice stage, because then everything will be felt a bit more different, and you will actually go with self-confidence first, which will already contain image, form and timing. But every stage needs to have its own time. At this specific moment, you need to train to develop this block in your mind, in this order. So let's take a look at these mental exercises again. And remind you very much timing, image, form and timing exercises. But it also now has a step 3. So step 1 is usually we choose the image and timing. Step 2, we learn how to focus on self-confidence and posture and image, form and timing. And step 3, now after that, you add a true voice kind of layer. And I've written, through detached state of mind, feel self-confidence and posture that includes image, form and timing. And that's again the closest description I could find to express what's going on in my mind. If making all 3 steps is too hard for you, then I suggest you to just stick to step 2. Make all these exercises just to kind of, consolidate the feeling of self-confidence in your sensations. And then maybe the next day, or a few even days later, you could add step 3. In this lesson, definitely, I would like you to sing just one interval, first with intonation, and then with self-confidence, and remember also posture and intonation. And let's see the difference. That's very good. Yeah, good. All right. And then you copy and paste these new sensations into singing motifs and phrases and sentences. Go through step 1, step 2, step 3, and when you feel that through detached state of mind, you can feel self-confidence and posture that includes image, form and timing, you will get there. You will feel what I just read. Then you start singing motifs, and then you start singing phrases and then sentences. So all that will prepare you for the playing exercises where what you've just done in the preparation and then singing exercises, you copy and paste into playing exercise. And you play through the phrasing exercises again the same way with everything.
Okay, and then practice.
And then practice, so this is actually almost how you would analyze a new piece. That's basically it. That's the steps you're gonna go through. And in book 4, I sent to you, we're gonna have the whole practice plan, and where it's very nicely, just deliciously, it's very attractive. Just have the whole map in front of you. How many days, what these days are for, it's great. I mean, I love it. I mean, sometimes it inspires me to actually start learning new piece just because I can, check every box and it feels good. So yes, eventually you try with self-confidence practice and try to approach a new etude. Or if you wish, you can just add self-confidence and true voice steps into that piece that you just practiced with timing. I'm not even sure, I feel so uncomfortable talking about these very surreal things because it's not tangible. We're not even talking about sound imagination or hand motion or even phrasing. I mean, it might sound so wishy-washy, but I mean, it's our inner sensations.
Nobody but you talking about it, and that's great, because we want to have a person who talk about those things. I mean, to talk methodically, and you provide very detailed, and of course this is, I understand that even now this now may be the last page of of the system. We have the time ahead, years ahead, I hope. But this is great that now we can talk about it, and we need to talk about it, to talk methodically, to try at least. I wanted to mention on the last lesson on timing, when we sit and try to exercise like reading in the mind. This may too seem to wishy-washy, but very, I won't say very so yeah, very good that we talk about this. That's very good. And I will keep talking about this. I also have my blog, and I have 70 subscribers. And I'm talking about this, and I hope in futures we will meet more people who will talk about this methodically.
So it's more like bringing structure into formless things.
We need to build something that help us to orient in that crazy world. But we need to do attempt. And what the great thing you do is you try to bring an order to build a skill of feeling, of organized feeling. And on our very first meeting, I was talking about Bernstein and motor control theory, dexterity and its development. That's called the book, to describe the thing dexterity. What is it? And he tells that we cannot discover dexterity like we may discover a new molecule or new chemical element. We cannot discover it. All we can do is to build a system that can so we can build dexterity, we can build you build a system that, for me, it looks like Bernstein theory, because you have these layers, and that fascinates me, because you say that you don't know anything about it, but you intuitively go through it. Of course, you have very big experience in conservatory and teaching, in overcoming problems with hands. So that's cool that we're doing this job. I'm happy. We did so far half a year. We're meeting for 6 months, and time goes so quickly. And well.
Oh, that's so kind of you to say all those words. I appreciate them a lot.
Thank you very much for the teaching.
Thank you. It's hard to do something innovative when you don't belong anywhere and you don't really have much support, and do it for 25 years. But I still keep believing that in the future pianists will see the need of learning how to organize the feelings, to express. But
I think the problem is because many of the teachers, they are professionals of high class, and they don't even know that there are problems like this exist. And now, as far as I see, now when higher musical education becomes more affordable, for more people goes to that, more people not from real musical families, like from 6 years old you go through all the stages. So I'm not kind of a guy. I'm not going through musical school even. I start with somewhere, some here. I play trumpet, and now I'm studying in university, and I had problems, and your channel helped me because it brings the system. But those problems, my teacher, my professor, and assistants, and everybody around me even don't know that they may exist on that stage. I think that if at least we know that we have those layers, we can experiment with them, and lessons are not becoming like administrator and object, but like a real research of two persons, but one is experienced, less experienced, and they together research. But even though that this guy is more experienced, he still doesn't know so many things, and they together can build interesting, because he learns from his experience. He knows very little, but his desire to know, because desire is very important. When your student does not have a desire, thus of course this is very bad. But you may find why he does not have a desire. Maybe he has so many problems with it, maybe he's so overwhelmed.
even when you have an amazing system to follow, and you're like, okay, in 6 months I can practice every day for 4 hours, and I can completely retrain myself, and then, the world is my oyster, and go on, which obviously everyone will see how you're going to do it in January and December. But still, you have to have a positive energy to keep doing the things that you even know work. And the big problem behind any teaching is how to keep yourself mentally healthy and emotionally healthy to do, well, like with anything in life. So, and I think very important to have this community of students or pianists and meet weekly through Zoom or any other online platforms to actually just discuss and talk to each other more as an empathy body rather than competitors. So to bring this, mental health and vulnerability and honesty and openness and authenticity into classical musical world, I think it's very important. And where you're able to open up freely to people that you maybe never even met in person, you just meet online, and to say, oh, this is how I feel, and other people just really, feel for you, and they validate what you feel, first of all, and then maybe they even say, well, maybe that's a solution, maybe you can do this, and maybe you can do that, and maybe next time it happens, you will feel this way, and you will react that way, and you don't take it to your heart. Because there's so much abuse going on. And so generally I provide my students this safe space as a kind of a safe community, which I think it's very, very important to not only make a progress, but actually go on. Remember the breakdown you had when we were practicing with phrasing and everything? I mean, I could have included you into those sessions, but I think in the future that's also the right thing to do. And for you, if you're gonna heal and help and also research with other of your students, it's a very good thing to do. Create a support community, empathy buddy group.